What if I told you that your obsession with having a perfect life is actually destroying your happiness? And what if the ancient Stoics discovered the antidote to this 2,000 years ago? Today, I'm going to share why imperfection isn't just okay. It's essential for a meaningful life. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why the Stoics believed that a perfect life would be the worst possible curse. The modern perfectionism crisis. Let's start with the uncomfortable truth. We live in the most perfectionist generation in human history. Thanks to social media, we're constantly comparing our behind-the-scenes reality to everyone else's highlight reel. We see the perfect vacation photos, the spotless homes, the flawless relationships, and we think, why can't my life look like that? And we've convinced ourselves that happiness is just one perfect job, perfect partner, or perfect body away. But here's what's really happening. We're spending so much energy chasing perfection that we're missing out on actually living. We're like people who are so busy polishing their car that they never actually drive anywhere. The Stoic revelation. Now, the ancient Stoics had a completely different perspective on this. Marcus Aurelius, literally the most powerful man in the world at the time, wrote in his personal journal, "Very little is needed to make a happy life." But here's the kicker. They didn't avoid problems or try to create perfect lives. Instead, they actively embraced difficulties as essential for growth. The Stoics used this metaphor. Steel becomes stronger through fire and pressure. A sword that's never been tested in battle is worthless. Same with humans. We become stronger through challenges, not despite them. Epictetus, who was literally a slave before becoming one of history's greatest philosophers, said something profound. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The perfection paradox. Here's where it gets really interesting. The Stoics believed that if your life were actually perfect, you'd become the weakest, most miserable person imaginable. Think about it. If you never faced any challenges, you'd never develop resilience. If you never experienced loss, you'd never appreciate what you have. If you never failed, you'd never learn or grow. It's like trying to build muscle by never lifting weights. You can't develop strength without resistance. You can't develop wisdom without making mistakes. Let me share a personal story that completely changed my perspective on this. 3 years ago, I was obsessed with having the perfect morning routine, perfect diet, perfect workspace, everything had to be just right. I'd spend an hour every morning arranging my desk, making the perfect breakfast, doing the perfect meditation. If anything went wrong, if I woke up late, or ran out of my usual coffee, my entire day felt ruined. Then life happened. I got sick for 2 weeks, my routine completely fell apart, and I thought I'd be miserable. But something unexpected occurred. I was actually happier. Without the pressure of perfection, I started enjoying simple things again. A messy breakfast tasted better than a perfect one because I was actually present for it instead of worried about the presentation. That's when I realized my pursuit of perfection wasn't making me happy. It was making me anxious, rigid and disconnected from the actual experience of living. The practical wisdom. So how do we apply this Stoic wisdom practically? Here are 3 principles I use every day. First, every problem is training. When something goes wrong, instead of asking, why me? What is this teaching me? The traffic jam becomes patience training. The difficult person becomes communication practice. Second, judge yourself by effort, not results. You can control how hard you try, how much you prepare, how you respond, but you can't control the outcome. Perfect effort is possible. Perfect results are not. Third, be grateful for your imperfections. That scar tells a story. That failure taught you something. That weakness makes you human and relatable. Your imperfections aren't bugs, they're features. Here's your challenge for the next week. I want you to intentionally embrace one imperfection each day. Leave your bed unmade. Post a photo without a filter. Have a conversation where you admit you don't know something. Notice how it feels. I bet you'll discover what the Stoics knew. That perfection is overrated, but authenticity is priceless. Drop a comment and tell me, what's one area of your life where you've been chasing perfection? What would happen if you just let it be imperfect for a while? If this perspective shift resonated with you, hit subscribe and the notification bell. I share ancient wisdom for modern problems every week. Because sometimes the oldest ideas are exactly what we need to hear. And check out this video about Stoic morning routines that actually work, or this one about finding peace in chaos. Remember, life doesn't have to be perfect to be beautiful. Sometimes the cracks are where the light gets in.